I want to cheers that glass with other people. I want to drink that red with like a really strong, stinky cheese. I want to pop that, celebratory cork. I want to rosé all day. I just can't have the alcohol, and I think
on your website, what I love in the About section is you're so direct about your own journey. So can you tell us what is your sober story? And I just found it very sincerely and personally written as far as your mission and your hopes for others. So let's talk about your sober story and what got you to where we are today.
So for me, I can't drink alcohol. What happens when I put alcohol in my body is that I make decisions I don't want to be making. What happened at the time was I'd have like boundaries where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do this thing or whatever. And I just kept crossing them, And for me, I think it was very, very classic where I tried a lot of things. I tried cutting back and it didn't work. I tried replacing. Some people are like, oh, I'm only going to drink spirits, or I'm only going to drink wine, or I'm only going to drink beer, or whatever. I very, very, very classic. And so for what happened for me was my life became pretty chaotic, and I stopped drinking. And at first, talking to people, I was like, oh, I think my life is just crazy. And once I get my life in order, then everything will be fine and I can drink again. And then after not drinking for a period of time, I was like, oh, you know what? There's actually something to this, and it's something deeper, And it's been a really, probably the best thing I ever did, honestly, in my life. And I would not be the person I am today on the inside if I had kept drinking. I'm very, very happy with my life, and I have a wonderful, wonderful spouse, and I've got amazing kids, and I'm able to be a parent and be a person and do that clear-eyed. And there's a lot of my upbringing was not the most positive. And so there's been a lot of stuff I've had to learn as an adult that maybe other people had a different experience and had a little bit more knowledge of. And so I am able to grow, especially parenting, especially the parent. I'm able to grow and be present and do things differently, but I don't have a great parenting roadmap. And so for me, being sober and being a parent it's like, I couldn't do it otherwise, and so for me, it is a deeper one, right? I love that there's like sober curious is like a hashtag now. And like, some people are just, cutting back or doing whatever. I'm not like, oh, alcohol shouldn't exist and it's evil. I'm not that kind of person whatsoever. I think that there's just some of us walking around that it goes in my body and not great things happen, and so for me, in the journey of creating Joyus, I thought that's, I thought that's what before. And so like on a personal level, it is so exciting to see other brands pop up and other things. And the first time I tried non-alcoholic tequila, it blew my mind. I was like, this is amazing. How do we even, oh man, the spirits are interesting because some people build it up from science and some people are de-alkalizing, like taking the alcohol out. So that's the really interesting thing about this. The non-alcoholic space is like, normally spirits are completely separate from wine, which are very separate from beer. But in non-alcoholic, we're all kind of in the same swimming pool and everybody's doing it differently. And everybody's got their own take. And you can try one non-alcoholic whiskey and it's incredibly different from another one. And so for Joyus, it's like, okay, our mission is to normalize non-drinking. It's not to villainize alcohol whatsoever. It's not to, community, not competition is another one of our core values, but normalizing non-drinking is a big one. And I think it's not necessarily like replacing alcohol either. I've talked to people in the wine industry who are very offended by the idea of non-alcoholic wine. And I'm like, no, it's backwards. You've got it backwards. Like non-alcoholic wine is a love letter to wine. You love wine so much that you still want to have it. You're like, I just can't have this one piece that's in it, but I want everything else. I want to cheers that glass with other people. I want to drink that red with like a really strong, stinky cheese. I want to pop that, celebratory cork. I want to rosé all day. I just can't have the alcohol, and I think that wine is very important culturally. And it's so interesting historically. And the process is like this fascinating mix of art and science. And it's just, I love everything. I love everything about it. And getting deeper and deeper and deeper, into it too, because I'm like, I want Joyus to be around for forever, and I want to make the best possible non-alcoholic wine we can make. So all we're ever going to make is non-alcoholic wine.
Thank you for your time. Tell us how to follow you, where to go online, and where you're currently available.
Okay. So all of our social media stuff, our website's all kind of similar. It's all Drink Joyus, and Joyus is spelled kind of fun. It's drink, DRINKJOYUS. So Instagram, it's at Drink Joyus. TikTok, which we don't do enough of, but we're on there and post stuff every so often. Drink Joyus. And the website is drinkjoyus.com. And on the website, there is a Find Joyus store finder map. So you can look on there and, find us closest to you, and working hard. So add new stores pretty much weekly. And email us. There's a contact form on the website. Email if you're like, hey, there's a store by me, I want them to carry you. Email us and we will call them, and we will try. We'll do our best. And we'll call them again 3 months later, and we'll call them again. So we do deep listening. That's another one of our values. So so drink Joyus, Joyus is where you can find us pretty much anywhere.